Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I loved how much you hated it. Turned me on. Why am I like that? Why? I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather you didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to? That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this planet. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't pass out. Chill the out. Jesus Christ. I thought you were cool.
So thankfully, Vice World News was able to obtain both text and voice messages, an excerpt of which you just heard from Andrew Tate to one of the women who suffered the profound misfortune of crossing paths with him at some point in her life. And in it, this woman who accuses him of rape, in the video, in the audio, he is admitting that he did it. That he did it, he liked doing it, he is proud of it. He then threatens her by pointing out that he's the most dangerous man in the world because, again, remember, he's completely deranged and has no idea who he or what he is. He is in a voicemail declaring that he raped someone and then declaring that he's one of the smartest men in the world because, and I need you to bear this in mind, I get that he's influential, that a lot of young pathetic men follow him, but what you need to bear in mind is he has not had a unique or original thought in his entire life. He is just clever enough to understand how to con some people and transfer their money to his. That's it. Other than that, he's a complete moron. And that is why he inevitably is gonna go down for all this stuff. It isn't just that he is a gross sociopath and that he routinely victimizes people for sexual pleasure, a feeling of power, a brief thing that can fill up the obvious hole in his soul, but also that he's a complete moron. And he leaves a paper trail, he leaves evidence everywhere he goes, he brags about the crimes he commits, he puts them down on tape and video, and we have more evidence that we're gonna get to, AB, but what did you think about that absolutely abhorrent video we just watched?
I think it doesn't go well for his defense, right? Because his defense is like, oh, I just play this character online. Like, you should not use this against me. This is not the type of person that I am. Well, this wasn't online. This was a personal message that you sent to somebody who you violated, and now it's out there. So how do you overcome that argument, right? And the Romanian authorities are already accusing you of being a lover boy, which essentially they normally charge crime bosses with, right? The mob boy in there, and they're like, we don't like that. What you don't get to do is swoon women and manipulate them into making money for you by using their bodies against their will, right? That is not cool. And so you just validated that for the authorities. So when you do go down, he's gonna try to convince his base that it's the Matrix taking me out. No, baby, it was you. It was the Matrix. Matrix ain't nowhere to be found, okay? It was you. It was you.
Yeah, I would just like to his fans, like if one of you is watching this, and you're probably not because you like your bubble, it makes you warm and feel safe and feel loved and all that. So you're probably not gonna be exposed to literally one critical thought about this guy that you worship. What did you think would happen? Like, I know the charges are coming against him, the accusations are coming against him, and he says it's the Matrix. Let's say hypothetically that he had done these things. What do you think would happen if that were the case? That the charges would come and he would just say, you got me. That's it. I don't have a word in my defense. They're like amazed about the fact that he would claim that he didn't do it, as if every grifter and con man in history hasn't denied that they committed the crimes when presented with the evidence of it. It truly is shocking that it's turned in this direction. But anyway, again, if any of you are here, here's some more inconvenient stuff. Here are text messages that he sent to one of the women he victimized. And I love raping you and watching you let me while still debating if it's a good idea or not. Monsters are monsters. When you're under my control, I do whatever I please. When someone tells you who they are, listen. He is repeatedly saying it over and over and over in his character, as if making a character of yourself as a violent rapist is a defense against accusations of rape. I'll never understand that. But even if we gave him that, it is clear that in his private life, he is every bit the rapist monster that he presents himself to be online. And there's way more where that began. You can go through on Vice World News. They have an accounting of all of one of the women who's being referred to as Amelia. It's not her real name. Her attempts to try to get the authorities to look into this, and the fact that it was stymied at every step and slow rolled, and eventually the opportunity was wasted. Finally now, literally years and years later, we might be getting some justice. AB, do you have any final thoughts about this? It's just so gross.
It's disgusting. I mean, yeah, this is something that has been pending since like 2015, right? At the end of the day, I think in terms of his base and his followers, right, they have already been manipulated into believing that women are just slow babies and we don't know what we want and we need to be controlled, right? And we don't have the wherewithal to like even have control over our bodies or say what we want to do. And so you run against that base being like, oh, well, she knew what she was getting into, right? As Candace Owens said, she like, there's some sort of agreement like, oh, well, you know the kind of guy you're dealing with. There's always this victim blaming, right? But you don't blame a victim for being victimized. That's never a choice. You don't choose to be a victim. Nobody would ever choose to be a victim. You have to be a vicious, nasty individual to victimize somebody this way and take away their dignity as a person through sexual abuse. And that's something that sticks with people for a very long time. So his base is raggedy, and the only reason why they follow him is because they can't get women, because if you could get women, you wouldn't have to be talking to somebody like this who just showed you he can't get women. He forcing women to do what they doing in the first place. So that should just let y'all know y'all didn't get y'all money's worth.
100%. Yeah, they have to stick with him because they have been indoctrinated to believe that this is their only chance. Only by being like fully loyal to him, giving him every cent that you make. Eventually you can learn to be an exploitative a-hole like him. If you're watching this, I would like to reassure you, I know that you're not gonna trust me. There are actually other ways to lead a successful life, to grow personal wealth, find a career that you find satisfying, end up in a healthy, satisfying relationship. There are other ways to do that. I would argue the other ways are far more common than being whatever the hell kind of criminal boss he is. The smartest man in the world, like declaring that he's raped someone in text messages and voice memos. He is just Dunning-Kruger with a goatee. How do people not see that at this point? It's not just that they're saying it's rape. He's saying it's rape. How is that not convincing to you that he might have raped someone when in his view it was non-consensual? Anyway, we're gonna see what happens. They've investigated 10 more of his properties. They've seized a bunch of properties, and they say that if this goes forward in the way that it looks like it's going to, those are gonna be sold off and the money's gonna be used to compensate the victims, which obviously no amount of money can make good for the trauma that they've experienced. But at least the fact that some of the money that he extracted from them through force eventually going to them, that feels at least in the same neighborhood as justice.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.